You have now said the word mentor or mentorship about 4 times in our short 20 minutes we've been together here. So I want to expand on that a little bit because that's something that's near and dear to my heart. And so what you're talking about, people might look at that, okay, I have to go to every business conference and I have to go mingle and I got to do all of these things. And my point to them is start, number one, find a mentor. Number one, find a mentor. Because that mentor, if you find the right one and they've got enough experience, chances are they're going to be able to push you in the right direction. I always say I have a consulting company, and so and critical to my success was the mastermind group that I joined at 29. They were all in their 50s. Now I'm in my 50s. They're in their 70s and 80s, and we still get together. And those guys were invaluable. I just sat back and listened for 2 or 3 years. Even though I was growing exponentially, I just sat back and listened and learned a ton. So that is so important and has been important for me. That's a central part of my message is find that mentor. Find one that's got a lot of experience, because even if they don't know what you want, chances are they know someone who knows someone who knows what you want.
Yeah.
And that has been my process from it's been 20, 25 years now, just as you described it. So that's my quick little soliloquy on what I believe mentorship to be. Talk to me about what that's meant to you, not just in this particular startup, but mentorship generally, because again, you've said it 2 or 3 times in the first few minutes we've been together.
I'll tell you, I'm first going to start with all the ways I did it wrong, right? So in the beginning, I did go to all of those meetups and I did go to all of these events and these networking events, and I tried to go to all these conferences. And I went to those conferences with a transactional mindset. I was there to sell something. I was there to close a deal. I was there to meet customers. I was there, that thing that when you're starting a startup and you just need revenue.
Yes.
Like I reeked of revenue desperation, right?
Important.
You'd walk in the room and you could smell me from a distance. Like I was desperate. When I started to change my mindset, and this is actually one of our core values in TrueView, I went from a get paid to a pay it forward kind of mindset. And so I would go and I would meet people and I would try to see what could I do with my limited network or with my limited experience. Anyone. Could I step into that role of trying to give them something? So, my core value became pay it forward, give first, and give often. And slowly but surely, when I started to do that, people stopped looking at me as a revenue, walking trap, and started looking at me as someone who would bring value to the table. So they might tell me about their startup and I might offer advice or a tip or say, oh, let me introduce you to so-and-so because, you guys have a lot of alignment. That kind of giving back started to open doors where people said, oh, you got to meet this guy over here and you got to meet this person over here. And I became known as someone who was connecting the community rather than someone who was pitching the community. And slowly but surely that started to move up and move up and move up. And I kept that mindset with the clients we did win, so that when I would go to them and say, hey, loved doing this project with you. We're trying to grow. Who else should I be talking to, or who should I be meeting? And slowly but surely, I started to build my network out and meet people who saw that I brought something to the table. And even with my mentors, I have formal mentors and informal mentors. I always come to the table trying to bring something of value, whether it's ideas, whether it's thoughts, whether it's connections, and not just take from my mentor. Because I think a lot of people come into a mentor relationship and they're like, well, my mentor is going to give me the keys to the kingdom. It's going to be a yellow brick road from here. And a lot of times they don't have the capacity or the interest in holding your hand through something, but they might give you feedbacks and tips along the way.
If you like this clip, you're going to love the whole podcast, but you got to make sure to like, comment, follow, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And if you want to catch the whole conversation, go to jerrybrazy.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.